Maybe watching this.
James, what's your height? Do you know? 1 point something, I'm sure. 1.79. John, do you know your height? John, do you know your height? 1.7. We'll give you 1.7. Shouldn't be as tall as him, unless we want to cheat.
Because I has like 3.
3.
Okay, this should be interesting. After this, I'll put one more. So let's begin from here. Can I have everyone's attention? From a point A, you see, elevation and depression question might come with picture or not with picture. If it doesn't come with a diagram, it is expected of you to sketch the diagram. Okay? So what I will normally do is to have a sketch where I don't have to pay attention to whether something is a straight line or not. Once I get the picture, I draw my triangle very well with my ruler and my pencil. So for example, this is an exam. From a point A, so I'm going to do this. From a point A, this is my point A. The angle of elevation of the top of a flagpole. So there's a flagpole. Can we see this part, sir?
No. Yes.
From the point A, the angle of elevation of a flagpole, you might decide to draw your flagpole on the left side of A. I might decide to draw my flagpole on the right side of A. It doesn't matter. Okay? The angle of elevation of the top of this flagpole. Okay, so from A, if I'm looking at this flagpole, it means there must have been something from the normal side of A, right? Then I will deviate to look at the top of the flagpole. Similarly, the angle of elevation is to deviate from the normal side of A. Are you getting that? A is not a human being, A is a point. So maybe a point on the ground, okay? And maybe the construction workers just put some measuring whatever to check something. Unless you are told that this particular A gets its own height, you cannot assume. Okay? Now, the angle of elevation is 20 degrees. That's small. It's okay. No, 50. What am I doing? I'm looking at the second question. Sorry. If A is 7 meters from the bottom of the flagpole, this is A, this is the flagpole, right? So this is the bottom of the flagpole. So this is what? 7 meters. 7 meters. So. And of course, you expect the flagpole to be perpendicular to the horizontal ground. Find the height of the flagpole. So once I have a sketch of what it looks like, then you draw a neat picture, a neat diagram with your ruler and pencil. Okay? So I draw like this. You can choose any format you want. It doesn't matter. Perpendicular height, 50 degrees, 7 meters, and call this X. So that's your unknown. Can you see? Which of the trig ratio are we using? Anyone? Sine? Why did you say sine? You didn't even check what you have. Last one. Cosine, okay. Triangle? Tan? Yes? What? If you want to speak, don't waste my time. Don't make me ask you twice. You speak loud and fast. Tan, thank you. Yes, miss?
No, I'm like thinking.
Thinking. Shouldn't take more than 5 seconds to think about. Curries. 10. Sine. 10. What is the first thing you need to do?
Label.
Okay, so let's label. What does X and 7 represent? What does X represent? Opposite. What does 7 represent? Because this is the hypotenuse. So you are dealing with which two sides? And which of the trig ratio has adjacent and opposite in the formula? So where do you get sine and cos from? We shouldn't be having this conversation. The first thing is to label them. Then try to imagine, oh, I have 2 of them. Well, not that you have all the 2, but you are using these 2 of them. Understand? So please. So tan theta is opposite over adjacent. We're still using our SOHCAHTOA. Tan theta will be tan 50. Opposite is x, adjacent is 7. Then x is 7 tan 50. I like consistency, so if I'm using small letter, I use small letter. Calculator. What? 5 point. 8.34 meters. Do I stop here?
No.
Why?
So as you draw a statement,
Why do I have to write a statement?
it's a
It's a
word
It's a
problem.
word problem. So my statement will be, therefore,
The height
the height of the flagpole.
is 8.34 meters.
Good. Questions? Questions? Let's move to the second. So again, an eagle on a tree sight a prey. So there's a tree. Again, you don't have to draw a tree. Just draw a line. Okay? Sight a prey with an angle of depression of 20. So the prey must be on the ground. So this is the horizontal ground. So again, you draw a straight line. So if you sight this prey, the angle of depression is not this. Hello? The angle of depression is not this angle. And please don't write 20 degrees here straight away. I'll give you 0. I expect you to do this. Can you see that? So your angle of depression is this one. Understand? Then by alternate angles, this will be 20 degrees. Am I making sense? Right angle triangle. Okay? If the height of the tree is 15 meters, how far is the prey from the tree? Understand? So this is our x this time. Okay? Again, what trig ratio do we use this time? Sine. Yes, Mr. Thomas.
Use sign.
Yes, Kim.
No, no sign.
Yes. Tangent.
Sun.
Megan? Sine. Yes. Jovino? Sorry. Jody? You're sleeping? I send you out. Yes.
Tan
Oscar? Okay. What's the first thing we must do? So let's label. What is our hypotenuse here? Is it label? Is the hypotenuse given?
No.
So this is the unknown. What is our opposite in this picture?
15 meters.
What is our adjacent in this picture?
X.
So which two sides are we combining? Opposite and adjacent is in which of the trig ratios? So where do you get sine and cos? Again, when I ask you the question, you should label it before you respond. You don't just say sine, cos, sine, cos, sine, cos. I'm not saying the question might not lead to sine or cos. But there's nothing like sine or cos so far. So where do you get sine cos? You label first. If the hypotenuse is not involved, it has nothing to do with sine and cos. Alright? So, again, tan theta is opposites over adjacent. Tan 20 degrees, 15 divided by x. Tell me what to write next. X tan 20. What do I write? And this is when you press your calculator. Please don't press calculator before this. $41.2.
41.2.
So we say therefore the prey is 41.2 meters from the tree. I'll write the comments later. Please write. Okay, maybe I'll write it now. Please write. Mr. James, is this clear? You're telling me time sign almost twice now. I need to know if something is not clear. Are you sure? Good. Let's now discuss James and John. Over here, please. Let's do the third one, then you can, I can leave you alone. Charlie, there's one technical question I want to do. Then I will leave you alone. Okay? James and John stand at two opposite sides of the pole. Maybe it's a flag. Maybe they are military officers. The pole is in between. James on one side, John on another side. So which means when we draw our picture, so let's say this is the pole. You can represent the base already. Right? And because we are discussing the height of each of them, again, you have to, do something lovely. John is supposed to be shorter, right? Sorry, John. I can't cheat James.
I think I lost all.
Okay. Come on, how else will we bully John if we don't do this? This is the only way you can bully John. Okay. So, it doesn't have to be accurate. Alright? Now, also, you cannot just draw a straight line and claim both of them meet because they have different heights. So that's why I make sure one is bigger than the other, according to the question. Okay? Now, the top of the flagpole. Before then, I do this for James. I try to use different colors so we can differentiate. I might need to reduce. Okay, I don't need to reduce it. So just to differentiate. Why did I do that? James, who is 1.8 meters. John, who is 1.7 meters. So these two guys are of different heights. Are you getting the point? So James, who is 1.8 meters. So here, you can see 1.8. This height. And John is 1.7 meters. I'm going to change John to 1.6. Sorry.
It's alright, John.
Please don't cry, lady daddy. So that the difference can, we can discuss that probably not just 0.1. I just want to make the calculation not so trivial. Okay? So these are the two heights. James, who is 1.8 meters, size the top of the pole at an angle of elevation of 52. So basically, like that. This angle is 52 degrees. Okay? Now, John, on the other hand, side the top of the pole at an angle of elevation of 70 degrees. It means John must have moved closer. Right? But your diagram does not have to be drawn to scale. So you don't have to erase it and make it closer so that you can have, what I mean is this. 70 degree will look like this. 30 degree will look like this. So the farther away it is, the smaller the angle. Am I making sense? But you don't have to worry about that. Okay? If you can think better than I did, it's fine. Otherwise, just stick to the plan. So this angle is 70 degrees. Okay? Now, do we know anything about the height of the pole? Yes, we do. The height of the pole is 9 meters. So, let's put it this way. This is 1.6. So I'll do this. Now, the green one inside here, I'm going to label that in green, and inside here I'm going to label it in red. Okay? So here, this green part will be 9 minus 1.8. Do you agree?
Mm.
And what is that?
2.
7.2. Okay? The red part will be calculated out. When I say the red part, I mean from here to this point. Are you with me? And the green part, I mean from here to this point. So one easy way might be to say this is point A, this is point B, and let's say the pole itself is PQ. So when we say 7.2, we are talking about AP. And when we talk about the other one we are trying to find, I'm just using color so you know, oh, the red triangle, the green triangle. Am I making sense? So what is this part? PB. 7.4. Okay, so get the difference, please. So I could do this also to show that it's from here to that point. And for the green, to show that it's from here to that point. Does that make it better? So the green one is A, so maybe everybody stay in their lane. And go back to your spot, get out of here. Okay, let's call this A. Okay. Does this make sense? So, when you have this, to avoid confusion, you can separate the two triangles when you're calculating. So for the first one, we are going to call this X, because the question is saying how far apart are the boys? We're looking for this distance. So we're going to label this X and label this Y, right? Then this will be Y and this will be X as well, because that's like a rectangle. Hello? If this is X, this will be X. If this is Y, then this is the Y. Okay? So maybe I call the position of James and John. Let's call that P. No, we'll use P and Q. Let's say MN. So to get M plus N, MN is going to be MQ plus that. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
So the first one. What I will do to avoid any error is for each scenario, I draw the diagram that I'm dealing with. To avoid any confusion. Too much information sometimes can confuse you. Again, what's the first thing we need to do? Label. If we label it, what is this? Potent. What is this? What is this? So what trig ratio?
10.
I will write that in green, so we know this is the green part of it. Tan 52 is equal to some point. Let's stick to writing opposite first. You are all beginners, okay? So let's stick to that. When you get to IB, you don't need to write all this. Again, I'll write as tan theta first. So you know theta is the angle under consideration, just for now. After about a year or two, you don't need to bother about writing this formula. So tan 52, the green is equal to 7.2 divided by x. So it's going to look like that one. Yes? Cross multiply. X, talk to me. Tan 52 equals 7.2. X is 7.2 divided by tan 52. Someone check that for us while I draw the second.
.63.
5.63. So x is 5.63 meters. For the second picture, again, this is B, just so we can connect with the original shape. Okay. So, what do we know? We know this angle is 70. We know this is 7.4 meters. So, hypotenuse is this, opposite and adjacent. Am I right?
Yes.
And this is labeled as y. So again, tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. So tan 70, I believe you understand, which is why I'm just rushing through this. Opposite is 7.4, adjacent is y. Y times tan 70 equals 7.4. So y equals to 7.4 divided by tan 70 degrees. So what is that? Say that again. 3,
2.69.
2.65. So you see,
6'9".
6'9". Okay. You see, John is actually closer to the pole. And that makes sense. Why?
Because the angle.
Because of the angular elevation is higher. When you move closer, you have to stretch your neck so wide, right? Compared to someone that is far away, you don't have to stretch too much. That's the implication here. Okay? So our conclusion, you may first of all say x plus y is equal to work that out and write a conclusion, or you may just do it together with the conclusion. So I'm going to do it together with the conclusion by saying, therefore, the boys are, check this out, x plus y, which is equal to 5.63 plus 2.69. What is that? 8.32 meters apart. So yes, you're welcome to write like this. Okay? Alternatively, you could say x plus y is equal to 5.63 plus 2.69, which is equal to 8.32 meters. Then you say, therefore, the boys are, Tomash, are you sure we can see this?
Absolutely.
Okay, meters apart. So your choice. You want to write together in the statement, or you want to do the calculation first before you write the statement without calculation, your choice. Does this make sense, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
So this is where we stop. It's just 12 o'clock. We still have about 12 minutes. So I'm going to hand in the elevation and depression question. We won't be able to do the other thing that I planned because I need you to actually practice what we have discussed so far. So please, maybe we can do the normal stuff. Sorry. Thank you. So if you wish to do some practice together in class and write this at home, that's recommended, so that any question you can talk about it within the next 12 minutes. But if you want to write this in the class, that's also what your choice. Your choice. The technical question that I intend to do, I do not expect that in IGCSE, but I will do that at the beginning of next lesson. Then I will introduce something called sign rule, and then on Friday we will continue sign rule, then I will introduce cosine rule. By the end of the week, I want us to have completed solving triangle, and then we have done a lot actually. That's a lot we have loaded this week. So by the end of the week, or maybe on Monday, we are done with everything on trigonometry. Everything on trigonometry. That's the principle. I tell you, the main thing is use of numbers and functions. Those are the main thing in the syllabus. Every other thing is easier. Even when I do vectors, you'll be surprised that all the skill that you need to understand vectors, you've learned already. So it should be faster. But I just need to give you a context. I need to explain what vector is, just like I told you what elevation and depression is. The rest you would know before. Okay? So you see, look at everything in trigonometry is this. This is everything in trig. And the only thing we haven't done is interpret bearing, which takes maybe 20 minutes for you to practice. Trig equation. This is relating to graph, but I would rather